Hi, this is Dr. Ratna Rajithar. I am the nutritionist, senior nutritionist, and lifestyle consultant with Connect and Heal. It's a nice opportunity to talk to all of you with regarding a very, very important issue, that is building immunity. And the first thing I want to start, instead of what to eat, first I must stress on what is it that people go for in this lockdown period. This is what I've observed in most of the shops that I went and approached during this lockdown period. uh, the first thing that I observed is all their junk food had disappeared off the shelf. Now, what is junk food? That is high salt, high sugar, high oil, all the ready-made gujiyas, fafadas, chivdas, chakris, and all kinds of chips and mithai, and the ready-made, highly processed foods had just disappeared off the shelves. And this is something that people go for, thinking that, okay, these foods will last to me a very long time, nothing will happen to them, which is true. But what are we feeding ourselves? We are feeding ourselves foods that probably are full of preservatives, color, additives, and that's going to compromise our basic immunity. So first thing is, when you look into your own stocks, first see how much is the extent of junk food that you all have collected. And probably you would have never gone for these junk foods in your day-to-day lives uh, outside this lockdown period, but today you have kind of stocked your houses with this kind of chakri, choda, farsans, with the hope that yes, I have something to eat, instead of, if I don't wish to cook anything. um, these foods are definitely going to go a very long way in adding the most harmful products into our body, which our body will actually have to double. One is, we are trying to build our immunity and fight a virus. It will also have to fight the toxins, the products that will create toxic products in our body, all the preservatives and the salt and the excess salt and the excess sugar and color. So first thing is, think that these foods are there for convenience, but not as your meal. They are not meal replacers. People will make a meal or a breakfast out of these food products. One of the major aspects in these junk foods is maida or refined flour. You have a whole lot of what, one thing that disappeared off the, literally disappeared off the market, was biscuits. And all varieties, I'm not talking this A or B or C variety, all variety of biscuits that use maida. Now maida has been a major culprit in all kinds of uh, issues, starting with constipation. I mean, that's the first thing that you will face when you excessively consume products containing maida. So all your pastas, your breads, your curry biscuits, your butters, all your bakery products belong to this category. And these food products do not do increase your immunity at all. In fact, your body will have to work double the time to detox this, digest this maida. And probably the refined flours come, they don't come alone, they come with high sugar, high salt, and too many preservatives in them. So this is the first point that I'm going to be actually pointing out. Go back into your own kitchens after this talk and see how much maida products you have. Go back into your kitchens and see how much of junk food you have actually got. And if in a day you are because you have nowhere to go, or nothing to do, or something that makes me feel happy, or the comfort factor, I'll just open a packet of chips or lays or kurkure, or bhujia or gathia, something comes under the category of time pass. So don't, it's should be a warning sign for you. um, let's go further from this. When I speak about after I speak about junk foods, I want to go further and look at one of the first things that we can do in our house is we should definitely look at this household ingredient with a lot of care and happiness, that we have blessed with this ingredient. And this ingredient is turmeric, that is haldi. Please make the most benefit of haldi. In fact, if you look at the ingredients that we have with us, spices that we have with us, it is excellent. It's got all the what do you call, immunity boosting abilities. It has got the power of fighting. Just imagine if you get a hurt in your hand, the first basic thing is, many doctors or a lot of people home in the home, they'll say put haldi over there, and you will actually see that wound healing. So can you imagine what it must be doing when we consume it? Our entire GI system, the gastrointestinal tract, our entire respiratory system, it is definitely positively going to heal any issues that we have with our own body, compromised body immunity. It is going to help it boost it. This is one ingredient that has been even used for cancer patients. So if it works in a serious ailment like cancer, it has proven to work over there. I am sure that we have got it in our masala dabbas. All you need to do is, how am I going to use this haldi? Now, all I need to do is, even if I make a dal, see that your dal is really yellow in color. That means start to consciously increase the amount of haldi that you are using in your food. I'm not saying you eat haldi separately. You can do that. But in our day-to-day foods, whatever we make a poha, upma, dal, bhaji, we make anything that we have in our house, we can add haldi to it. And of course, if we have children at home or even aged people at home, the best thing is to go, it's in fact given a lovely name called turmeric latte. So haldi doodh, garam haldi doodh shots in the night, and you add enough haldi, how much haldi that a person can take. It's not that I had only a pinch and I had only half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon or whatever, nothing. There are no praman, there is no amount. Please add how much you are able to tolerate. That is important. And the yellower the milk or the food that you have put that haldi to, even sada rice, you'll say, oh, how can I use it in rice? All you need to do is, along with the water, add haldi to it. You have yellow rice. But the idea is, use this one ingredient absolutely to the hilt every day and for all meals. It's not that for one meal I use haldi, a lot of it. I eat a haldi pickle, or I eat haldi water, drink only haldi water for one shot in the day. No, it has to be throughout the day, because body detoxes, body heals at all times, even when we are sleeping. So this is something that we can easily use. I want to go forward. I'm going to talk of one more product, that is our garam masala. Now you'll say, garam masala, theek hai, I use half a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon. No, every ingredient in that garam masala, that is lavang, dalchini, ilaichi, black pepper, your javitri, your nutmeg, your dhana, your jeera, your bay patta, that is a bay leaf. All, each one of them is a superhero, because when you use these garam masalas, and instead of using Maggi masala, when you use these garam masalas, it is going to add vitamins, antioxidants, minerals to our diet. And you don't really have to use a lot of it all at once. It is, you have to keep on adding with every, consciously keep on adding with every Indian food that you eat. And definitely, even if you say, where else can I add? Even if I make a thepla, I can add it. Even if I make a roti, that is a thepla, paratha, I can add garam masala. So think of this super fighter that we have in our masala dabba. Now, another aspect which is there in our masala dabba is methi seeds, all the seeds, rai, jeera, methi seeds, especially methi seeds. Why am I saying methi seeds right now? The reason is because most of the comorbidities, people with comorbidities, hypertension, blood pressure, diabetes, or some kind of ailment, the ones who have compromised immunity. Even if your blood sugar is high, you don't have to have diabetes. Even if your blood sugar is high, slightly on the higher side, and you say, okay, it's only slightly on the higher side. No, it is not okay. If it is slightly on the higher side, that means you may be in the zone of pre-diabetic. Be careful, be careful. If you at this time consciously you're at home, learn to sprout methi. If it takes about a day or two, so what you need to do is take a teaspoon of methi, try it out yourself. Take a teaspoon of methi, allow it to soak for maybe 8 hours. So let's say you soak it during the day, and in the night you wash it again, and you again put it in the same katori or vati, and or tied up in a small hanky or in a in a muslin cloth, or even put a strainer, a chani or a galni as we call it, and just cover it and allow it to sprout. This sprouted methi is wonderful. It does wonders to our body. And I'm not saying eat this methi kacha. I mean, many people will say, "Oh my God, it stinks. It's terrible. Its smell is bad. I can't put it down my throat." But trust me, when you chew into it, it doesn't have the real bitter taste. And okay, you don't want to eat it kacha, fine. Saute it with onions, garlic, how you would make a sprout saute with whatever you want, haldi, chili powder, jeera, garlic, onion, whatever you want, and make some kind of usal with it, or just simply just add it on into your vegetables, whichever you made kobi bhaji today, so add it, just add it, keep adding it every day. Do it for the whole family, and keep adding these methi seeds, sprouted methi seeds to your meal. uh, Next thing that I'm going to be talking is, person will say, okay, what fruits will I eat? Okay, fruits, actually whole fruits which can be washed properly under with soap water. If you are very mild soap water, or if you've got salt, you know, excessive salt, you just wash it nicely under running water, wipe it properly before keeping them away, wherever you want to, on the shelf or in the fridge or wherever. Wash them properly. I think that washing part of it has been very, very nicely advertised, even on the TV and the radio and things like that. But the which fruit? Fruits that are particularly rich in vitamin C. And one of the most easiest fruits that you can, versatile fruits available right now, in fact, it's available, it's guava. It's called Peru or guava. And it's not that you have to eat uh, guava just like that. You can put one more factor on it, which is going to boost immunity. And that is, you know, it's called pink color Himalayan salt, Sinda Namak. It's a plethora. It is a dense mineral. It's a rock salt. It's a mineral based salt, and it contains super amount of minerals, which with chili powder and salt, in fact, use it as a snack, use it as your go for snack. You have nothing to do, slice the guava, put the this thing, kala namak, what do you call, sinda namak on it, put your chili powder, put your little bit of sprinkle, your salt, your pepper, whatever you want, spices. They are only going to add value to that guava. Of course, you have limbu. please buy limbu in excess if you can, and see that limbu pani is simple. Don't go for these created stuff. I know the children love it, but now is the time. Make fresh limbu pani every time, every single day, and have it when you don't feel like having anything else. And in that limbu pani, you can add all kinds of ingredients. If you want to spice it up, you can add your rock salt, your mint leaves, you can add along with that, if you have a tulsi plant, okay, this is where tulsi will also, it's a blood purifier. Tulsi will able to totally benefit you. You don't have to chew tulsi. All you need to do is take that tulsi, wash it, tulsi leaves, pluck tulsi leaves fresh, wash it, and put it inside your water, and you'll see the fragrance it gives. Wonderful. uh, these are very simple. It's not something that it's hard to do, or not something that you are not going to be able to uh, you're not able to source it. Maybe if you have it, great. If you have a kundi pot of tulsi in your house, this is the time to respect it and ask for grace. Please protect us. The idea is this one plant, along with uh, all your other masala ingredients, is definitely going to go a long way in fighting and boosting your immunity. Now, there's one thing more that I'm going to say. Everybody says that eat proteins. Proteins are very good in the diet. Yes, eat proteins. But if you're constantly going to eat only dal, dal is a split dal, okay? Maybe moong, masoor, chana, chawli, split. Now I'm going to be talking of whole dals, whole pulses, sorry, whole pulses. Now why am I saying whole pulses? Whole pulses are seeds, are grains. When you soak them, you germinate them, you ferment them, oh, they kind of burst their nutrients, they give you on a platter. They give you the kind of they make it available. We call it availability increases of these nutrients. When you soak, you sprout, you ferment. So try now, consciously try. If you have got chana, moong, chole, matki, whatever you have, watana, see that instead of having tur dal, moong dal, oscillating between the two, sometimes urad dal, sometimes masoor dal, no, try and make whole sprouted or fermented pulses. They will add value. They'll give you the proteins. Definitely. They will give you, they are probiotic. Okay. They will also, they add fiber, they add vitamins, good vitamins, and definitely they are, when you ferment it, definitely the digestibility of this product improves. Um Besides this, if you have got what do you call it, source of getting leafy vegetables in your house. Now I have seen many people, when the vendor comes to the building, he will give you leafy vegetable for 500 rupees or 600 rupees. You are not able to choose, I want this, I want this. He just gives you this big bucket of, for 500 rupees, this is what I've got for you. And he gives it to you, and you don't know what to do with so many vegetables. Suddenly you're hit with 2 kilos tomatoes, 2 bunches of palak, 2 bunches of methi, 2 bunches of coriander. Now, what do I do with so much leafy vegetable? What do I do with so much of tenli? What do I do with so much of turiya? Uh, I don't know. I mean, sometimes if the number of people in your house are 3 or 4, you get foxed because you don't know what to do with so many vegetables all at once. And mind you, be calm, use your spare time, learn a new skill. Now, what is that new skill? Clean your clean your vegetables, especially leafy ones. Now I've tried it out myself. Clean leafy vegetables. When I say clean, means remove the pattas, remove the palm, remove the leaves, and in your veranda or your windowsill, keep a nice cloth, wash them and dry them. Let them dry. They take 1 to 3 days to dry. And I have dried mint. Now this recently I have just done that in this COVID time. And because I got 4 bunches of pudina, I didn't know what to do with so much pudina with my, I mean, how much can you eat chutney with three people in the house? So I dried it. And the next thing that I did was, every time after it dried nicely, I put it in the tea leaves. So now every time anybody has tea, it has a wonderful, it has the natural dried tea leaves in that uh, mixed teas, in the tea, with the tea powder. So I'm actually happy that I was able to save the mint. Then I got so much of methi, I didn't know what to do with it. I dried my methi. Now what I do is, any dal, in fact, one of the tricks I was told by some of the chefs, that they add a lot of methi to their Mughlai dishes. So every time I would make a chana or a chole or a rajma, I would add a little bit of methi leaves to it. Or even if I made a masoor dal, I would add a little bit of my methi leaves powder to it. Now, these powders are super rich in vitamin A. Remember, yellow, green, red, orange, all these colors, these are the colors of vitamin A. And vitamin A, especially these leafy vegetables, are super sources of vitamin A. Vitamin A helps to fight infection. It helps in the integrity of the epithelial tissue. Just imagine, your entire respiratory system has the epithelial tissue. And if vitamin A is there, along with vitamin C and vitamin E, okay, you are definitely kind of trying to making a superb attempt to protect yourself. Now, you'll say, what else can I do? I got this cauliflower bhaji, cauliflower. Now, I've got two big cauliflowers. What do I do? Please don't chuck away the greens of the cauliflower. Chop them, steam them, clean them, the root sugar, clean them, chop them, steam them, and then incorporate them into soups, in your bhaji, in your pav bhaji, if you're making. Try and do that, because cauliflower greens are also good sources of not only vitamin A, but also iron. The other things that I want to mention is that I know we feel a little depressed. So in the night, kuch meetha ho jaye. So definitely we go for ice creams. We stock our system with ice creams or some frozen dessert, or, some cold drinks, or, commercial fruit juices or something like that, something to sip on, something to chew, eat and feel happy about. But if these products are going to give you a sore throat or a cold, mind you, please avoid them, because they will not go, I mean, in a compromised environment, they'd give you no benefit. I would like to look at it that way. When you are having a lot of anxiety, a lot of, what do I do? I need something to comfort me. in I would suggest, make nice herbal teas for yourself. You know, allow them to boil, make nice kadas, allow them fragrant ones. You put in ilaichi, you put in tulsi, mint, lemongrass if you're getting it, cardamom, ginger. Put in these things and allow them to boil nicely before making a nice cup of tea for yourself. This is going to make you feel good. It is going to make you feel, like, and you can sip it over a period of time. It's not that you drink it in one gulp and it's over. So try and invest a lot of your time in making, visiting the kitchen and seeing what you can do, uh, creating healthy food for yourself. One thing I'd like to say when I'm saying healthy foods, many people think salads are healthy, but if they are not washed properly, if they have matti on them, you are definitely at risk.
Yeah. One or two collection things.
So this time, I mean, I know salads, everybody says, oh, salads are extremely. This time around, if you have want to eat anything raw, I would love you to peel your onion, add limbu on it, washed limbu ka
Okay,
juice,
and also about other locations, what have we spoken to?
and this is something that you can uh,
Okay.
uh, put on the
Manjushri,
side.
your phone line is very
Uh,
disturbing, and I am already on a con call. Can I do one thing? Can I call you at 6 o'clock on this number?
um, are there any questions from any of the people? Anybody like to throw a question at me? Or I, or should I continue? If I receive a question, I'll answer it. Uh, or can I continue? I think I haven't received any questions right now. So I'm going to just about continue. Uh, so is next thing that I'm going to say about is try and invest in a couple of seeds. Now you say what seeds? Okay, all the seeds are available, roasted ones. Sunflower, safflower, watermelon, flax seeds. Try and invest in them at this time. And uh, you are going to invest in your after, you don't have to say kuch meeta ho jaye, it's your after meal munchie. Create these seeds and keep them in, roast them if you get roasted ones, keep them in a dabba and then pass it around and let people slowly munch on them. Like, you know, you are actually savoring every inch of that roasted seed product. Now you will say, what do these seeds do to you? These seeds have the ability to grow into a tree or a plant. They have that much of strength and immunity in them that they, by you munching on them, they are going to transfer their energies, they are going to transfer their goodness to you. So I don't would not suggest have a chocolate, or you know, because chocolate, cocoa is not bad, but nobody eats cocoa, everybody eats chocolates, and chocolates come with their fat, and sometimes they use hydrogenated vegetable oils that, according to me, in my layman's language, is nothing but vanaspati, which is trans fatty acids in the in the right sense. So don't go for these ordinary chocolates. Try and go for the dark ones, which have got less of sugar, less of fat. Or the best way, I would suggest, best way to do it is get a bowl of nuts or dry fruits or dry nuts. Now, this is along with the seeds. This could be your go-to for munchies. And this is going to do a long way, because a simple nut, I'll just give you one example of a nut which is sometimes underrated. It's a cashew nut, cashew. Very often, cashew is something that people say, oh, almond is the best. I would suggest, along with almond, even cashew is very good. And if you get the roasted cashews, the one with the covering on it, you know, it's not raw, it's a roasted, it's a bhatti roasted cashew, not the white polished ones. Go for them, because they not only give you fiber in your diet, but they give you one mineral that is super, that's called zinc. And zinc helps to improve immunity. Along with, I'm going to give you one more nutrient that is very, very important for all women. Okay, that's folic acid. Now, doctors give us folic acid tablets, but why should we eat tablets all the time? In fact, the best way to go for folic acid is Eat your green leafy vegetables when you get them. Eat the curry patta. Don't throw it away. Have that folic acid from your pulses and the black-eyed beans. I don't know whether you know it. In Hindi, it's called lobia. Okay, uh, that is super. It's like a superfood. So chauli, I think kidney beans. That is rajma, kulit, horse gram. It's also called. In Maharashtra, we make a kind of a pitla with that horse gram during fasting periods, but you can make it now, along with one very important. I always like to use this, that we have been blessed with chilies. Everybody say, oh, chili, don't eat chili. Oh, I don't like very much chili. I'm not talking not only of the red chili, I'm talking of green chili. Green chilies, and try and make your children used to it. Okay, they have it in chutney. But what do we people do? We try and say, oh, we only cut big chilies so that we can take it and chuck it out. No, try and make people used to green chilies. This is something that green chili is something that we Indians have a palate for. I mean, I've not seen foreigners that much. In fact, they don't like our spice. They like less spices in their food. But when we have green chilies or even red chilies with us, try and use them. They are good sources of all our vitamins and minerals. In fact, if you look at the farmer, he would probably go with an onion, a green chili, and a lime along with a bhakri. That comes to the concept of why only wheat. Bhakri is something, try other types of millets. That is, you have nachni, you have bajra, you have foxtail millet, you have barnyard millet. Oh my God. Just go to your Vanika Dukans, the grocery shops, and ask him how many types you have. Google, find out what do I do with all these different types of millets. These are some things that, this is time you can think, how can I best change my food habits? Otherwise, what happens is all of us try and see what is available in the shop, bring it ready made. So I have seen people stock up this time on ready made idli mixes, ready made powders, ready made dhokla mixes, ready made masala mixes, ready made these it's almost like a TV dinner, half processed kind of food. You just have to reheat it and consume it. No, I don't think so. Use our time constructively, put in an effort, think how we can recreate our lives in a healthy manner, and definitely we are going to be able to improve, use this opportunity to improve our health. Because if you have a comorbidity, if you are obese, okay, overweight, if you are having some kind of bone issues, my back pains, my leg pains, my fingers pain, if you have some kind of osteoporosis or osteomalacia, if you have some kind of anemia, hemoglobin deficiency, if you have some kind of skin ailment where your skin immunity is also compromised, I guess this is the time to get back to some household remedies and actually try them out. Cold cough, the best household remedy according to me is ajwain, ova. All you need to do is either you boil it or you put it on the tawa and consume the fumes. Heat it on the tawa and consume the fumes. Even increase digestibility. Now, why should we increase our digestibility? Digestibility is something, it's like whatever comes in the first, after you've hopefully bitten and chewed it well, it goes in our stomach. And in the stomach, if the you can eat the best food you want to, okay, the best of the best. But if your digestibility is poor, nothing is going to happen. Because if in the stomach you don't have sufficient amount of good enzymes, good amount of acid, and you are suffering from, let's say, indigestibility for whatever good reason. I mean, it could be you have consumed too much of oily foods, you have consumed too much of sugar foods, or you have consumed processed foods. I don't know what could ever, or you are eating late because you are at home. You can probably eat at your lunch at 3 o'clock, or your lunch even at 4 o'clock. Nobody's going to ask you. You probably eat your breakfast at 11 o'clock because you get up only at 10 o'clock. I hope this is not the scenario. But if you have irregular eating times, the body has a biorhythm, it will work. It will produce the acids, and if it doesn't get any food to digest, it's going to create havoc in your stomach. So improve your digestibility. And one of the best ways to improve digestibility is consumption of probiotics. Now, what is probiotics? Nothing, simple. Dahi, chas. And with every meal, or before every meal, or after every meal, or when you feel, oh, I think I can have something to drink, have chas. In that chas, or have dahi, in that dahi, we have live microorganisms, which will go a long way in improving our gut microflora. So this is something that you need to take care of for your uh, uh, day-to-day lives. Um, if you are, I mean, a very simple things that I'm just going to mention over here is, if you are going to take steam regularly, I know they have always said take steam regularly and things like that, but if you're taking steam regularly, I would suggest even gargling, and haldi water along with salt is a very, very good idea. If you are consuming, let's say, stale food, this is something that's going to happen, because people sometimes, I mean, overcook because they're at home, and then they don't know what to do with the food, so they overcook. The chapatis are made more, the bhajis are made more, and dal is made more. And if you're going to overcook, please, that overcooking is learn. Maybe it will happen one day. Maybe you need to adjust to having fresh food for lunch and dinner. Do not make one meal and say, I will have it for breakfast, lunch, tea, and dinner. No, try and invest your time and create, however small it is. It's not tough. Maybe one day you will go overboard, maybe 2 days, but then you eventually learn that this is amount my family or myself, my children, my husband eats this much, I will should cook just that amount of quantity. Try to avoid stale foods. And when I say stale foods, don't reheat vegetables. That's not the best idea. And if you are definitely wanting to cook extra, I'll tell you what you can do. If you get 2-3 kilos tomatoes and you really don't know what to do with them, boil them, that is blanch them, remove the skin, puree them in your mixer grinder, and reduce them. Now, you'll be wondering, why am I telling you this? Why am I telling you create a tomato puree? Moment you cook the tomatoes and reduce them, the lycopene, that's a very powerful antioxidant, the proportion of it increases in the product. And of course, you have a ready-made tomato sauce with you, but try and use this tomato puree effectively by making not only tomato soups, but tomato chutney, adding the tomato to your dal, the puree to your dal, the puree to your vegetable curries, or even your tomato rice. So this is one thing you can do with excess food. I'm not talking of stale food here. If you have, let's say, excess vegetables, now what do I do with all this excess vegetables? I suggest to you, look up some nice recipes on pickles, because pickles are probiotic. I know groceries are available. So try, when you're ordering your groceries, think with that vision, saying that, oh, if vegetables are going to come suddenly to me, so many, I don't know how to preserve them. So making pickles, just think, ask your the older people in your family, they'll be, I think, very happy to share with you their age old, you add this, add that, try and convert, because pickles, especially the fermented ones, are probiotic. I am not talking of commercial preserved pickles, but our household made pickles. And you can make pickles with anything. You can make it with carrots, you can make it with cauliflower, you can make it with brinjal, you can make it with kindly, you can even make it with broccoli. I have tried this time a broccoli pickle. Suddenly, I got 1 kilo of broccoli, and I didn't know what to do with so much of broccoli. Nobody eats broccoli just like that unless you cook it into a soup or some kind of continental stuff. So I said, let me think, what should I do with this broccoli? So I decided, oh, why not? Let's try broccoli pickle this time. So think in that manner and think out of the box. Think something that I can probably keep as a stock in my house without really compromising the nutritive value of that food product. Uh, at this point, I'm also going to tell you about a very, very simple thing. Many people have asked me as a nutritionist, can I eat non-veg? I suggest, if it is cooked properly, yes. If you have got a good source that you're getting it from, because I don't know about the transport system over here with non-veg especially. Eggs is something, yes, have it, especially your children and the older people, even you, at least one egg. You don't have to have 4 eggs. At least one egg with the yolk, with the yellow part. Good protein, yolk has vitamin E and omega-3 fatty acids. So egg is something, definitely I would definitely suggest boiled egg or whatever, scrambled omelette, etc. Non-veg, yes, if you have a good sauce, if you're able to wash it properly, if you're able to add the marinade with haldi, dahi, etc., cook it properly, okay, cook it well, but buy only how much you need to consume and finish it. And if possible, if you are a little more I mean happy in the kitchen, prepare a stock, all the leftover non-veg, like chicken bones, chicken head, chicken whatever, you're not used it in the cooking, prepare a stock. This stock will go a long way in adding to your soups and your gravies, and it's gelatin at the end of the day, the stock, because the bones break down on, you put them in a pressure cooker and give it 4 5 whistles, and this stock can definitely improve your hemoglobin. That is the definite there, but it will also add value to your curry. So instead of adding water, you add the stock. uh, if you are a person who says, I want to work out or exercise or something like that during this time, just remember one thing: you can exercise, and I'll tell you how. We don't have servants. I mean, if all our part-time servants have just disappeared, use this opportunity to do all your squats. What is mean by squats? Squats is just take the jhadu katka and wipe your floor. That is water on the floor and do it. It's such what do you satisfaction when you come at your house that you have cleaned it yourself, and you are keeping your own house clean for yourselves and your family. In fact, you will find out things, cupboards that you have never opened. You will find out places that you have probably never looked at. Clean them out. Allow this activity. You'll say, why am I talking about this? I mean, I'll tell you something. Mental happiness, mental relaxation, mental satisfaction that I have accomplished something for myself is so important. Because every time we are working for everybody outside, like you go for a job, I'm working, I'm doing this to earn money, I'm working, I am helping a company grow, I am helping to raise the market value and all these economic terms that everybody uses when they are at work. The best way to do it is when you clean your own house, when you clean your own kitchen, your own cupboards, you will find out things you haven't used, you haven't even looked at, you've forgotten all about them. And if you take them out, it could be a equipment, it could be something that a product or a thing that you have not used in the kitchen, a vessel you never used in the kitchen, a grater you have never seen, you bought it and you just, it slides somewhere over there. Clean your house. I tell you, keeping yourself mentally occupied, you digest your food. I mean, you people who take stress, the first thing that affects them is their digestion. Why am I talking mental happiness and food? Why? Because when you are stressed, your hand will go to anything, you will eat anything, you will probably eat in excess, you'll eat without feeling hungry about it. You'll eat because you're bored, you'll eat because there's nothing else to do, you'll eat because you are depressed, you'll eat because I'm at home now, what do I do, somebody else is eating, I feel like eating, so I also eat. So no, keep yourself, work will occupy you from home, your office work may occupy you, but the rest of the time, look after your house, look after your, do the ironing, do the cleaning. You know, when you see a clean kitchen in the night before you go to sleep, it gives immense pleasure. When you get up in the morning and you see a lovely kitchen, oh, I put all my things away, I'm going to take out only what I require. It sends such a good feeling to your body that whatever you eat after that, whatever you drink after that, your thirst is quenched, your food is digested, your body moves, you don't become a couch potato, and you are feeling house proud. Yes, what I employed, then you suddenly realized that I was at office the whole day. I had two ladies working in my house or two part-time people. I don't know what they did because they didn't clean. So these are something that you will probably rediscover yourself, your own home, and I mean, God willing, your body will get the because of good thoughts and good action and good deeds, your body will get the strength to digest, to assimilate, to absorb and excrete the toxic products from your body. So in the morning when you get up, if you have a good motion, your stomach is clear, your food is well absorbed, you are ready to take on the day's challenges, you are ready to take on, I mean, so what, we are in the house, that doesn't make us unproductive. You can become extremely productive and you can value your own house for I'm sure after the COVID gets over, you will come back and say, oh my God, how did I take on these times? And this is something that I discovered, a new me, that I can definitely adjust and keep myself and my family safe and healthy. If there's anything, I open to questions. I mean, it'll be really nice if uh, if there are any questions. Are there any questions? You can message me on chat. Are there any questions? Uh, I don't think so. There are any questions. I'd like to end my talk with just a few small pointers again. Keep well hydrated, have enough proteins in your diet. Don't eat only carb rich foods. Like proteins come from pulses, protein come from milk, from egg, from nuts. One nut that you can always get is groundnut, that is shingdana. Try and roast it and keep it. Eat it whenever you are, I mean, whenever you feel that, yes, I can go eat something. Try and use the vegetables to its optimum. If you get excess, try think of ways that you can home preserve them, dry them, and then use them over a better, a longer period of time. Always wash your fruits and vegetables carefully. You can use salt. Some people use vinegar. Some people use baking soda. I mean, whatever suits you. Uh, do wash your fruits and vegetables before drying them and air drying them and again storing them. Eat home cooked foods. Avoid processed foods. High salt, high sugar, especially all the biscuits, the bhujias, the curry biscuits, the chudas and chakris that we get ready made with lots of oil, and mithai, lots of sugar. And last but not the least, use turmeric to its optimum. Keeps your lungs healthy, keeps your immunity, keeps your gives you good sleep in the night, and you can have it with milk. That's one of the best sauces. uh, Hello. Yeah, do you have any questions? uh, I'm breastfeeding mom. My kid is 8.5 months. Should I avoid milk products in my diet? Why do you want to avoid? If you are allergic to it, it's a different matter. But I don't find any good reason to avoid milk products in the diet, uh, except that milk is your best source of calcium, and elders insist to avoid it. Okay, if elders are insisting to avoid it, milk, I don't know for what reason, but milk is, especially in the form of dahi or in the form of paneer, is a good source. But then definitely look for other calcium rich sources, and the best calcium rich source for you is nachni. uh, if you are not going to consume milk, then definitely nachni. Even til, that is sesame seeds, is also going to benefit you. So please have products made with til and kaskas. And that is my answer. If you insist to not to consume milk at all, because for breastfeeding you do require calcium, for otherwise it will go from your bones. If you go down in your diet in calcium, your bones will start leaching out, and the next thing, probably over a period of time, you'll realize ki, my own bones are paining. So definitely tir, that sesame seeds, nachni, green leafy vegetables are good sources of calcium and iron together. Of course, non-vegetarian foods, if you are allowed to consume that. Um, any other questions? Okay, so I would say eat safe and stay safe and keep your chin up. We are all going to get out of this and healthily. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor.